Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So here we are back at the Inferno on attempt number 27. It's been a very long 7 days of grinding this, and the furthest we got is Zuk 4 different times now. Hopefully this attempt will be the one. This was the very first attempt of the day, so it was nice to wake up and feel a little bit refreshed and also have some really fortunate spawns in the mid 50s and the early 60 waves. It left me with a lot of supplies, and here we are at Jad, wave 67, full HP, only having to deal with one healer because I don't trap them personally, but we're about to get the kill here, and honestly we're just gonna log out, take a deep breath, and kill the triple Jads next. Well, unfortunately, I forgot to click logout in time, so it looks like we're just gonna have to deal with them right away. Here we go. This is wave 68, right before Zuk here, and we have a decent amount of supplies in the inventory. I'm no stranger to triple Jads. I believe I've actually died here twice in total out of the total of, I think, 5 attempts that I've made it to triple Jad versus the 4 that I made it to Zuk. So we're gonna go ahead and trap the healers on the first Jad and continue to pray switch. The thing with this is if you look away for 1 split second and get a little distracted, or you just get off focus, that's all it takes to get 1 hit. So yeah, my HP was 97. These healers unfortunately will tag you every now and again, and I'm just so focused on making sure I'm praying the right protection prayer that I'm not really prioritizing drinking a Saradomin brew, at least until we only have 1 Jad left to deal with. So luckily we're only down to 1. And on the off chance that I don't like where my HP is at, I can always make the decision to use Blood Barrage on these healers, but honestly, I was just rushing Zuk. I really felt confident, and when you feel confident, you want to take advantage of that moment. So that is why I decided not to bother with the healers. We're just going to use a little bit of our Sarah Brew, get full HP. We're going to sip that Bastion, sip that Stamina Potion, and we're going to begin our Zuk attempt. I also have a Prayer Regeneration. I decided to bring 3 on this inventory specifically, and I did actually go with the Assembler as my cape instead of the max cape that I was trying out recently on the previous attempts. So here we are, wave 69. We're just gonna go tile to tile at the same time while my shield in front of me is moving, and that way I'll always be in front of the shield. One thing I didn't really realize was the fact that you can be dragged towards Zuk if you decide that you want to hit him when you're not supposed to. I didn't really recognize or learn why this was happening. As you can see it right there, that drag aspect, until the very end of the fight. So I tried to prevent myself from making that same mistake towards the very end, but you know, all throughout this fight I didn't really realize that my character was being dragged how he was at certain spots. But either way, we start now with the Ranger in the major spawn. We're just going to try to kill the Ranger as quickly as we can, and then we're going to hit that mage so that he does not kill our shield. So I was a little late to the mage there, but we did manage to kill the Ranger, and that means a lot. Once you hit the mage, you have to continue to pray mage, otherwise you're going to take so much damage and probably die in a few hits, and you'll have to be tanking the Ranger the whole time. But the fact that he's dead now means that we can just focus on Zuk. Gonna get his HP just below 600. Anything below 600 works for me, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kill that major that's currently sitting at 189 HP. Looking at our supply count, we're doing pretty good. We have about 5 super restores and 5 Saradomin brews, as well as 3 sips of a Bastion and 3 sips of a stamina potion. Although my twisted bow is not hitting to its full potential, that is alright. You can expect a lot of zeros here, and I guess we're just gonna get a little bit more practice with running tile to tile, because pretty soon here, once we get Zuk below 600 HP, we're going to kill that mage, and then Jad is going to spawn, and we're going to have to deal with him. Now, in the last video that I uploaded a few days ago, the very furthest that I had reached was Jad at Zuk. So we are going to get to that same point here in just a matter of a few seconds. We just have to get his HP down a little bit more. There we are. So now that it's 599, I can go ahead and kill Jalzik, and we'll get that mage out of here. So that way we don't have the timers to worry about as much anyway. And once we kill this mage, we're just going to go ahead and get Zuk down to 480 HP. and that is when Jad will spawn, and then we'll deal with him. But yeah, as you can see, the Twisted Bow has great distance, but you never want to run after anything that you don't have to. So I was just dealing a little bit of damage to Zuk while I felt like I was close enough to hit the major, and finally we did get the major killed. So now it's up to my Twisted Bow to spawn that Jad as quickly as possible, and then we will kill him just as quickly. So with that being said, we're sitting pretty good on supplies, 114 health. We've sipped all of our prayer regeneration, and we only have 2 sips of a stamina, but that should be fine. We're full run energy, and I'm trying to move step by step, not trying to move too far ahead or, you know, lose focus and get caught up in the moment and not be with my shield. That's a huge thing. You gotta be next to your shield or you will most likely get one hit. You can definitely tank Zuk hits, but it's not recommended, so keep that in mind. But yeah, as you can see, we eventually got Zuk to 481 HP. My Twisted Bow seemingly was hitting either everything or nothing at all, but now that we've got Jad to spawn, we got to deal with him, deal with those healers, and then hopefully get him killed. Yeah, my heart was pounding in this moment, and not to mention that I was listening to extremely loud but very good music, and I also had 800 people watching me do this live on Twitch. But knowing that I had done this multiple times before, knowing that I had actually gotten to this point before, I knew that I could pull this off, and it's really just all about timing. Some people like to keep their camera angle a certain way. I myself just kind of look at everything all at the same time and time things out the way my brain times things out, you know. As it goes for the healers, I was like kind of considering blood barraging them, but I was like, why should I get fancy with this, you know? So I just went with clicking them traditionally with the Twisted Bow, hitting them every time and just leading them away from Jad. But yeah, this was a very intense moment. If you're curious of like this whole experience with live commentary, the only reason I can't feature that is because I had copyright music going, and honestly I wasn't talking at all during this. I mean, how could I possibly talk? There was way too much going on, but you can see like my facial reactions and all that. All that's on twitch.tv, and that'll be in the link in the description below. You can check out the full VOD. You can check out the clip of what ends up happening in this video live. So that'll all be there, but this just kind of goes with the Camtasia footage that I was recording just straight up. So with all that being said, Jad is close to getting killed now, and we are finally just going to be focusing on Zuk, which I'm looking forward to because this Jad is super annoying. And these healers have actually damaged me quite a lot, and it's taken a lot of my supplies, a lot of my prayers gone because of this, and I'm gonna have to use a little bit of my Ceridome and Bruise too just to get back to where I want to be with my HP. But it's no big deal. We have now taken down Jad. We're back to full HP in case we do get hit by something, but I don't know if that'll help that much. But either way, we are now gonna go ahead and attack Zuk until 240 HP, and then the healers will spawn. Once those healers spawn, we need to kill them immediately, and I mean pronto. So we are going to put on that blowpipe, and based on wherever I am when those healers spawn, which it looks like I'm going to end up all the way on the left side, which is perfect. Really depends on this Twisted Bow. All right, we are at 275. Okay, 243 now, so probably the next hit right at this square. And here we go, healers. There we go, the first one. All right, that's tagged off, and we're just going to hit it a few times. Now we go for the next one. Tag him off of Zuk, and we have to stay with our shield. That's critical. You can't go tile to tile anymore. You have to go square to square. You know, you can't run too far ahead, and we're just going to get all these healers off of Zuk so that his HP stays as low as it can. And we're going to be dodging these falling pieces of lava or obsidian, whatever you want to call it, while we are with our shield dodging Zuk at the same time. And we got to kill these healers. They're doing so much damage, and this is why you want to have Ceridome and Bruise for the end of the fight. I'm sure there's a better walking rhythm with this so that you don't take a lot of damage, but I could not quite figure it out in the moment. You know, it's kind of hard to learn on the spot. Maybe with a simulator, but honestly, it wasn't that easy using that simulator for this part either. I was definitely shaking at this point. I was definitely nervous, and my heart was racing. I should have been wearing that Apple Watch that I got recently, and it could have told me what my heart rate was at, but probably wouldn't have had time to look at it either way. But yeah, we managed to kill every single healer. We just have one trapped all the way to the east, and we do have to kill him. So we're going to keep hitting Zuk, and in the meantime, we'll make our way back there, and we'll take down that healer. So you may notice sometimes I run out of range, and it seems that I'm going to get hit. But luckily, all the times that I was dragged out or that I ran a little bit too far, it was just timed so perfectly with him throwing out his attack that I was not going to get hit by it. So now that we got that healer killed, killed. We unfortunately did not get Zuk killed quick enough, so we have to kill the Ranger as well as the Major again. That's right, this is the second spawn, so we're just going to simply do the same exact thing that we did in the beginning. Blowpipe that Ranger as much as we can until we can't hit him anymore. Then we're going to tag that Major so that he does not destroy my shield, and we are going to pray. We should have put on the Elysian at this point, and we should have tried to tank the Ranger better, but at the end of the day, I was just trying to focus on getting back towards him so that I could kill him as quickly as I could, and then I would limit that DPS. So although I was clicking like a wild man, I was at the same time tanking like one too. We are now down to 0 Ceridome and Bruise, only 2 sips of Super Restore, and now we're just going to focus on Zuk because we don't have to worry about killing the Major because he's only going to be using a magic hit on us, so we'll just keep that Prey Mage above our head. As long as I keep my clicks steady, which I am really panicking at this point, shaking like crazy, and that's really affecting my mouse movement. You know, my mouse has always been reliable for all these years. I've been using the same type of mouse. I've had to buy him back a few times, but nevertheless, this $10 Logitech mouse has pulled through for me so many times in the past, and although it seems that I will be getting hit by one of these Zuk hits because I keep running so far out there, again, I believe this happened 6 different times throughout this whole fight. I just so happened to time it so that I was not going to get hit, so that was just luck on my part. Now, it was at this point where the panic really started to set in because I really thought I was going to get hit there, and yeah, I sipped the last sip of my Super Restore and my Stamina Potion. We are now down to 0 supplies. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole attempt, I was using my Eldritch Staff to get as much prayer points as I could, and thankfully I did that because we would have had no prayer for this if I hadn't. Running all the way to the east side now and still panicking with the clicking, I was now learning that instead of clicking on Zuk, I had to click on the floor and wait for my character to get there with the shield and then click on Zuk. Well, even after realizing this, the panic had set in and I was just a little too late for this next hit. Here we go. And luckily, we tanked it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 86 HP, we tanked a Zuk hit. If there's ever been more of a reason to get this cape, it is right here, right now. I felt so confident. I was like, you know what? We should not be alive at this point. Let's just get this cape. The adrenaline was truly pumping. I knew I had it in the bag at this very moment. I just got a huge sigh of relief, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was like tested and it was like up to fate. You know, I was blessed. I was given so much luck in that moment that I felt like I could not take that for granted. I had to continue on, and sure enough, ladies and gentlemen, we did get the cape. As you can see, the Twitch chat was going wild, the RuneScape chat was going wild, and I just cannot thank all of you enough for being a part of this journey with me all of these years. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I've posted hundreds upon hundreds of videos since Inferno was released into the game, and I've had a comment on probably every single one of them. When am I gonna get the Inferno cape? Am I gonna get the Inferno cape? Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Inferno cape, and I'm very proud of myself. I don't say that often, but I really am. As a RuneScape player, this is a huge accomplishment. You know, someone asked me the other day, what felt better and what did you feel more accomplished by, doing a 100-hour live stream on Old School RuneScape or getting the Inferno cape on Old School RuneScape? And hands down, it's the Inferno cape every single time. This cape was just, it was a 7-day journey of learning how to do it, and surely enough, we did. And yeah, we only got rewarded with like, you know, 3.3 mil worth of loot, but I mean, that's okay, you know. The cape was what I was after, and I was after it for so many years, but I never wanted to get it. I never cared enough, you know what I mean? And now I think I'm at a point where after all this time, I want to get this kind of stuff. I want to be the end game player that I know I can be, and I want to accomplish everything. I don't want to hide from content anymore. I want to do it all. So I give you all the credit for that, for not giving up on me and also always reminding me that this was in the game and that I should do it. So thank you to everyone who's ever supported me on YouTube. This one's for you. Thank you for not only 200,000 subscribers, but thank you for 220,000 subscribers. Doing this for the last 8 years has been the ultimate privilege, the ultimate pleasure. It's everything, and it has given me everything. So with all of that being said, thank you guys so much. And until next time, Mr. No Sleep, out. And a huge thank you to the YouTube channel members with a special shout out to DaeDogGaming, xXzoticx, and DeceptionZ.